What's up everyone, welcome to NTWANfc. In today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about my free-to-play team, and I'm going to show you the team. I'm going to tell you what I did this season with this team, and you're going to see that with a team like that, actually, you don't really need to spend coins in the game. As you can see here, let's look at the players. This is a team where I haven't spent any coins at all. All these players were free-to-play players, or I got lucky packing them on chance deals, or using the coins that you can win in the game. So, let's look at it from the top here. Alessandro Del Piero, Gabriel Batistuta, David Villa as the top three in attack. Behind that, Antoine Griezmann, Frank Rijkaard, Aurélien Tchouameni, Costa Curta, Maldini, Tony Adams, Ben White, Jordan Pickford as the starting 11. A very, very strong starting lineup here. And when you look at the bench, it gets even better players. Didier Drogba from the penalty game here, Michael Owen, Daniel Van Buiten, Serginho, N'Golo Kanté, Messi, Van der Vaart, Roberto Carlos, Bebeto, Cannavaro, Jude Bellingham, and Kylian Mbappe. And this without actually putting a cent in this game. And, it is a team that is very, very competitive. It is just as competitive as a lot of the pay-to-win teams that I see. And to be honest, I also have a pay-to-win account. And the difference now, after playing for a little bit over a year with this team, it is really minimal. Even though, I have better players on my other account, the truth is that the results that I get with this team are not all that different or marginally different than with the pay-to-win team. You almost get the same result because in the end, after collecting these cards for a little while, the team is really, really good, and it's just a few points here and there of difference than my other team. Let's have a quick look at the reserve here. I also have some other players that, quite didn't make it on the bench, but are still very good. Ruud van Nistelrooy here, Fernando Torres, the one that was in the pack for 500 coins, Bastoni, Endrick, this De Bruyne, David Beckham, Neymar, Cavani, and a few others. And, I've been collecting the highlight players that you can get in this game, whether it is during the events like these Player of the Week cards or, some of the other cards that they are giving out during different promotions. And so I have now quite a big club and a lot of Raquel Lombardis, of course, with the skill training programs. But, overall, this team now, it is very, very competitive. And, the only player that I actually got by using the coins that I earned in the game was Paolo Maldini. I got quite lucky. First spin, I got Paolo Maldini on a pack of 150. And, of course, you're not necessarily going to get all that lucky or lucky like that all the time. But what I've learned is that really it isn't really the wisest move to actually spend the coins that you're earning in the game spinning 150 players pack, because you don't get a very, very good return on the coins that you've been earning. So, if we go in the contract section here, you will see I have 9,252 coins. That's a lot. I've been keeping these coins now ever since January. And what had happened is that before that, I had been saving the coins for a while. And when the Gareth Bale pack came in January, on January 1st, it was a 250 players pack. And I had perhaps around like 4,000 coins, something like that. And there was like 8 legends or 7 legends along with Gareth Bale. And I thought, okay, I'm going to spin on this pack. Perhaps I get Gareth Bale. If not, maybe I'll get lucky and I'll get one other epic players. And turns out I'd spent all that coins and I didn't get anyone. And I was pretty bummed out. And I realized at that point, it is not the right strategy to spend the coins on those 150 player pack, especially if you don't have enough coin to actually empty the pack. So as you can see here now, ever since then, for the last 8 months, really, I've been saving the coins now. And, you get a little bit more than 1,000 coins a month if you are doing, essentially all the events, at least the first game of each event. You win just one game, twice a week, and then you'll get 100 coins a week if you do both of the events. And then, when you log in every week, you'll get another 50 coins. And I've been saving these coins, and actually, I'm not going to spin any of these 150 players pack. And if you were to do so, then you have to wait until you have 13,500 coins until you can clear the pack, because perhaps you will get lucky and you will spin and you will get your player very, very quickly. But there's also a chance that you get unlucky and that the players that you want, the epic players, they end up being at the bottom of the pack, and that you spin and you get nothing. And if you do that and you cannot clear the pack because you don't have enough coins, essentially you've just wasted your coins for no reason. So, the first lesson here in the free-to-play strategy of this game is don't open a 150 player pack unless you have 13,500 coin and you can clear the pack. And now, as you can see, I have 9,200 coins. I'm not really that far from having the 13,000 coins that I need to open one of these packs. And now that I've been waiting for a while, the answer is I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to open any or clear any of these packs. I'm not going to do a player like Kota Takai here that has been added, as you can see. He is a Showtime player in a 50 player pack, but that is also very, very expensive if you were to do that. The best strategy actually is to do these packs. And of course, they're not there all the time. But, as you can see, there's still the Belgium pack here, only 1,500 coins. And for that, you get all of these players and you get a manager. So that was the first thing that I did on this account. It was to get the Arsenal pack. Back then, it was with Mikel Arteta and the whole Arsenal team. And, with that, you spend a minimal amount of coins. It's basically, if you play for a month the game, you will get enough coins to be able to get one of those packs, and you get a full squad, and you get a manager. And that's very important, of course, because the manager is going to make all your players better. And if you're playing with the base manager, the GP managers, then you're going to be struggling in the game when you're playing online against other players. So that's the first thing that you need to do if you're going to be a free-to-play player. It's going to get one of those 1,500 coins pack with a good manager and a good team. So in this account, I got Mikel Arteta with the Arsenal player. Let's see, we can see a few of them here. Let me select them. It's Arsenal. So it was these guys here, Saliba, Rice, Odegaard. And, ever since then, I erased a few of them that I got as doubles, when then I got, like player of the week players or other players. And but the most important, really, the one that remained in this team after all that, it is Arteta. And, it is very important, of course, to have a manager like him who's got a double booster, and, he's going to make all your players better. And he has a high team playstyle proficiency, as you can see here, 88. Of course, now there are some managers that have 89, but still, it is much better than, the basic GP managers who don't have enough, like, let's say, the base Didier Deschamps here, who had only, 76 at best. And, he's going to boost essentially the overall rating of all your players. He's going to make everybody better in the team. And so, more than any player, more than spinning to try to get good players, the most important, if you're doing the free-to-play strategy in this game, is to get a manager with a double booster, or perhaps now in a week when we get eFootball 2026, a triple booster. So the next thing then is, finding a strategy to do the events, because the events, they're going to be the way that you're going to be able to build your team, because every week you get new events and you can get more coins. And with these coins, then you're going to be able to essentially stack the coins and then have a chance to try to spin and get lucky and get some players, or maybe open some other packs. So as you can see here, I have 3 game plans here, one for each of the events that you have. This one, Arsenal, is for the English League, Milan for the Italian League, and Barcelona for the Spanish League. And, we can have a quick look at them here. And as you can see, these are all free-to-play cards. And, essentially, you're going to try to build some competitive teams that can, play in these events and that can allow you to win the games easily. And now, essentially, with these teams, you just do one game and you clear the 50 coins, and it goes very, very quickly, and then you can stack these coins. So as you can see here, we got Michael Owen, Ruud van Nistelrooy, Fernando Torres. The rest are mostly highlight players, except for Tony Adams, Ben White, and Jordan Pickford here. But some of these players, they're actually excellent. This Timber is very, very good. Guardiola is excellent. Rodri is absolutely a beast in the midfield. Caicedo also very, very strong here. Cole Palmer, always excellent. And, even on the bench here, we have a bunch of highlight players. These blue players that were available in the penalty game, they're all very, very good. And, this team is very, very competitive. It is above 3,000. As you can see, all these teams here, they're all above 3,000. We can look here at Milan. It's even better. I got a lot of luck getting some players from Milan here. Del Piero Batistuta, or from the Italian league. Got the Ribéry that came from the penalty game. Serginho from the penalty game. Also Rijkaard, from the promotion, the big-time promotion a couple of weeks ago. Fabio Cannavaro, same thing. Maldini, the one that I got on a lucky spin. And Bastoni, Costa Corta. So this one is very, very strong here. This team is, almost all epic cards. And it is the best team that I have for these events here. Barcelona, also pretty good here. Bebeto, that I got in the latest promotion. Kylian Mbappe, player of the week. I got this guy on a one of the chance deals that you get for completing the event. David Villa, he was in one of the promotions a while back. Antoine Griezmann was in the France team. And it was a pack, a 1,500 coins pack, also with France. Puig from the penalty game. Tchouaméni was a player that I got from the match pass, just because this Tchouaméni was very, very good. And he's a little bit like a Patrick Vieira, of a free-to-play version of Patrick Vieira. And, he's perhaps not as good in terms of dribbling, tight possession, and passing, but defensively, he's 187, anchorman, very, very strong. And you have to add a few things on this guy. As you can see here, on the additional skills, you need to give him man marking, blocker, and through passing. And if you do that, then this guy is an absolute beast. And then the defense, perhaps not the best, but still trying to build here this defensive line. The Normand Batra Koundé is excellent. Llorente, player of the week, that I got on a free chance deal here. He's pretty good. And Victor Baia here from the penalty game. And the last one, of course, is the national teams event here. I'm playing with France. They have so many good players here. And, essentially it's the best national team, or the best national lineup that I can have with the squad that I have here. and this team is also very, very good. So, basically the moral of the story, the lesson here is don't be baited by Konami trying to spin on these fancy packs that make you believe that perhaps you can have some luck and you can get one of those players. And of course, it is possible that you can get one of these players. But, I would tell you, do not empty the pack. Do not try to empty the pack, and certainly do not empty your coin stack on one of these packs if you cannot clear the pack, because that's a sure way to lose all the progress that you've made, to lose all the coins that you've stacked and not get a player. Be patient. If you're going to be getting some players that you're going to pay for, either get one of these players of the week. You spend 100 coins and, perhaps you can get lucky, you can get one of the players that you want. But if you go and if you spend those 150 and you get nobody, it's going to set you back a lot. And I would say, don't even go and spin for those player of the week with 100 coins, because 100 coin here and 100 coin there, and you do that every week. And next thing you know, all the coins that you could have saved, you're not saving them. So, essentially don't spend the coin, just use the players that you get for free in the game, the highlight players that they're going to give you out, and they're going to give out a lot of these guys, and then just stack the coins, just wait, and then just go in the packs and get these players. And once you stack enough of these coins, then perhaps, you can choose some players. And I would say, if you're going to wait and if you're going to go and spin with one of these 150 player pack, then wait until you have players that are going to be game changers in your team. So who are we talking about? We're talking about Ruud Gullit, we're talking about Frank Rijkaard, and Patrick Vieira. These are the big three that are going to change your team because they are so dominant in the game. They're tall guys. They're guys that you're never going to have for free in promotions. And they're guys that are going to bring your team to a different level where you're going to be able to, be a lot more efficient on the pitch, especially in the midfield with these tall players and big players. The other players, especially attackers, you will have very, very often in the free promotions that Konami gives every now and then. You're going to get attackers that are pretty decent. As you can see in my team, I have Bebeto, Owen, Batistuta, these guys in front. They're going to be, essentially just as good as any other attacker in the game. And the ones that they're never going to give out, it's Gullit, it's Rijkaard, it's Vieira, it's these big players that are game changer. And once you have them in your team, then nothing is the same. In this team, as you can see, I have big time Frank Rijkaard. Let's go back here to the original game plan. And here, this Frank Rijkaard, he's an absolute monster. I just got him. Of course, he was in the big time promotion a couple of weeks ago here. 190, 80 kilos. And, he's an absolute beast. And I've given him here the skills that he needs: aerial superiority, heading, through passing, acrobatic clearance, and track back. And now with that, he's absolutely insane. And, I have, of course, on my pay-to-win account, I have a double epic booster version of Vieira and of Frank Rijkaard, sorry. And this guy, he's basically just as good, maybe a little thing here and there, the player ID. This one is orchestrator. The other one that I have is build up. And that's the only difference. But, overall, just the size of this guy in the midfield means that you're going to dominate the midfield. And they are very, very rare, This one, they gave him for free, but, it's a couple of generations back from the cards that you have right now. But they're never going to give out the latest version of Rijkaard or Vieira or Gullit. But Gabriel Batistuta, they gave you a Batistuta that was in a 150 player pack just a couple of months ago, or 3 months before he was there for free. So don't waste your coins on a 150 player pack on someone like Batistuta, essentially if you're going to spend your coins and spin, make sure it's either on Rijkaard, Gullit or Vieira. Otherwise, just wait until you have a pack that is going to make your team much better. And so now the question, what am I going to do with these coins once I reach 13,000 coins and I can clear a pack? And I was thinking for a while, okay, I'm going to wait and I'm going to spin for Gullit. And now that I got the Rijkaard, and there's this pack sometimes that comes and it's Gullit, Rijkaard and Van Basten. And so now I'm like, okay, I'm actually not going to do that. I'm going to keep these coins for a while, and I'm actually going to wait and not spend the coins until the World Cup. And I know the World Cup, it's in a long time. So perhaps I'll stack enough coins to do a few cheeky spins here and there to try to get some players. But essentially, I'm going to keep my coins for the World Cup when they're going to release these 1,500 coins pack. And last time for the Euro, there was the pack with Griezmann that I have on this account. There was another one with Messi. And these were 105 rated players. As you can see, Griezmann is still someone that's usable here now in the game today, and he's already like a couple of years old. Same thing for the other Messi. And so, if you wait for the World Cup, then you're going to have a chance to perhaps have 3 or 4 packs with players that are going to be, whatever, 105 or 106 rated, maybe 107 rated, depending on what kind of rating levels the highest players will be in the game. But you will have some players that are going to be among the top players in the game, and you're going to be able to get them for only 1,500 coins. So save your coins right now, because it's going to take a while for you to save the coins, and wait until the World Cup. Because then if you're a free-to-play player and you can never spend any money in this game, then start saving now, and by the time you get to the World Cup, then you will have a team that will be competitive for the foreseeable future, and you won't have to worry anymore about not being able to buy coins to spin for players to try to make your team more competitive. So that is it, guys, for this overview here of my free-to-play account. I hope that if you're a free-to-play player, that you get a couple of tips here and there to help you make your team better and help you win games online, because it is very difficult in the beginning when you're starting this game and you're a free-to-play player to build a team that is going to be competitive. You have a hard time. You're playing against people who have the latest players, the Pelé, the Gareth Bale, and so on. And it's very difficult. But once you are able to build your team a little bit, I can tell you now with the free-to-play team that I have, when I face teams with people who have Bale or the latest Ronaldo or Pelé, I am not bothered too much. It doesn't really change that much because now my defense is so good. With one of the latest players like Cannavaro, he can definitely pocket Gareth Bale or Cristiano Ronaldo without a problem. He's a 106 rated defender. He's so strong, and once you're able to build your team like that, then it won't matter anymore whether you're a free-to-play player or you're a pay-to-win player. It will be more about what you can do on the pitch and not what you can afford. But anyway, guys, that is it for today's video. Hope you found it helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like, and I'll see you all on the next one.
Hit me with that like, and sub to the channel. Hit me with that like, and click the effing bell. Click that bit, alright. The algo recommends, for she gon' like. The algo knows you well. Hit me with that like, subscribe to the channel. Hit me with that like, and click the effing bell.